Or should we just open with the cutscene? Do you want to do the cold open? Like we're in an episode of Columbo or something?
No.
Or you can introduce now while we're crouching here like a crab man.
Sure, let's introduce now. Hello, viewership. We are back with our latest installment of Middle-earth Shadow of Mordor. With me, the Bard.
Shadow of Crab.
With me, the Bard.
And me, the Doctor. After a, you know, less than thrilling series of side quests, which I would sum up as learn to ride a thing, learn to kill a thing, learn to kill a thing, but bigger.
Yeah.
Which wasn't exactly riveting.
No.
I guess this is the game's where... Oh, right. Now we're learning the thing which I assumed was this game's main mechanic, but here we are 12 hours into the game learning it. So,
we assume...
there we
I
go.
can assume this is where we learn to convert Uruks to our cause.
This, I think, is branding, yes. And we know she has the spooky fire, because when she lit that fire, she could see Celebrimbor.
I haven't enjoyed this phase of the game as much. I'll be perfectly honest. Like, it seems to be flying in the face of everything Tolkien wrote and just becoming another generic fantasy RPG where the first part was quite innovative and interesting and dynamic. Yeah.
Oh, a mithril hammer is what we got. Oh, Jesus, that's massive.
Show me why my soul was denied death.
Who is this woman again?
I wouldn't... It's not clear.
Okay.
I do wonder, like, how much of the structure of this game from a gameplay perspective was designed from the ground up for a Lord of the Rings game, or whether this was an idea they had and it was like, hey, this will be fun to graft Lord of the Rings onto relatively late in development.
I would be fascinated to know that. Like, you've got to think
Yeah.
with a property as, like, contentious and legally distinct as Lord of the Rings, it must have began life as a Lord of the Rings project.
You'd think so, wouldn't you? But like stuff like, you know, having this wraith thing where you can do spooky powers, like that's left of field for Lord of the Rings stuff massively already.
It is actually, yeah.
So I wonder if like the concept of the Nemesis System was drafted as a generic thing, and then they got some rights and were like, hey, this would be a perfect marriage. Because I know that does happen a lot in game development. Is basically games get surprisingly far through development without really having a thing.
Yeah.
And then like some rights are secured, or someone writes a good story, and you're like, hey, this would be the perfect story to graft onto this like surprisingly fleshed out gameplay thing we have that just needs a hook.
I'll bow to your superior knowledge of video games, but what I do want to do is like hazard a guess as to who spooky old lady is.
Go on.
I think she's Shelob.
I mean, surely Shelob's alive and being a spider at this point. This is only like 40 years before...
I'm convinced that's Shelob.
Okay, then.
I'm just saying...
I mean, but also, I'm not convinced Shelob can take on human... Even Ungoliant couldn't take on human form.
Are you saying this game's going to diverge from Tolkien's source material? Get out of town!
Yeah, right, yes, okay, fair.
Somewhere between
I did like we got
Rancor killing, yeah.
I like that we got a tiny shout out to that in the Hobbit film when they were like showing the spooky spiders in Mirkwood, and they were like, some spawn of Ungoliant from, well, let's not talk about Radagast the Brown, but...
Well, look, this is maybe a good way to segue back into some Tolkien chat. We've done some video games talk viewership, we've done some, like, the Doctor and I chat.
Apparently we can't climb that.
Oh, so
that's just
you're not gonna,
too much.
You're not going to make that.
Cool. Nope. Nope, that's also too much. Right, I guess I've been spoiled by, like, recent Assassin's Creed and, like, Zelda games by, like...
You can probably get back there in time, you'll be fine.
Those games are pretty big on, you know... You can climb basically everything. Whereas this is, like... You can climb certain specific things, but if they in any way, you know, inhibit your progress through a mission or something like that, suddenly Talion can't reach more than, like, his own waist height.
I don't think you're going to cover that amount of ground in the 10 seconds we have left, unfortunately, Doctor.
300 feet in 10 seconds would be significantly above, like, Usain Bolt record speed.
Who knows? Maybe Talion is that fast.
I don't think Talion is a 6'4" Jamaican...
sprinter.
Not sprinter. I was trying to think of the word for. So basically, there's the. Have you ever heard of the term actuarials?
I know the people who do like actuarial science, like the insurance people. But I'm guessing that's not what. Yes. That's not what you mean.
It's similar. So actuarial is all about prediction. Some people use it for like predicting when people are going to die. If you're in this category and you earn this much, you're going to die at this point. Actuarials can be applied really well to Olympic records. Basically, people get better at a given sport with time at a very predictable rate. That basically you can expect an Olympic world record to be broken every couple of years
Oh.
by a relatively predictable amount. That these things tend to be incremental, and then they, especially for newer sports, they're exponential initially, and then they drop off of kind of following a logistic distribution. These are all basically plotted out for all the major... I was detected. Oh, fuck off. These are all plotted out for the major sports. Usain Bolt is an order of magnitude above the actuarial predicted curve for sprint.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Like, basically, the word I was avoiding saying is, like, freak, because that's not right and that's harsh. But in terms of that, he is a massive outlier. Like, sprinters have been getting predictably better over the years, but he turns up and without, and this is the interesting thing, without a major technical innovation...
Yeah, like
blew the competition out of the water.
Like,
there's the whole thing of,
faster
like,
running shoes, more innovative tracks. Yeah.
Yeah, or like, you know, when they discovered doing like the Fosbury flop in high jump, you know, that thing where they like roll over basically while you're doing a high jump. There's no technical reason why he's better at sprinting. He's just physically a better sprinter, which is fascinating in its own way. Okay, that was me. I fucked up there.
You did the same thing twice.
There, no, actually, that was much worse.
Right, so hang on. Like when we're failing, it's telling us to do something called like elf stealth or elf something or other. Like,
oh, was it?
Is there an ability that we've got that you're not making use of?
Oh, it's stealth mode, which is hold right trigger, which if I do it makes us move much slower, which is why I've not been doing it.
Okay.
It's pretty simple,
Okay.
So I will just simply do that. But yeah, it's like Bolt is basically the only case of without a technical innovation, he just is miles ahead of in terms of predictability where the sport should be.
That is pretty cool, actually. Like,
and he's like. I'm sure you've seen like sprinters before. Like
I am a sprinter, so yeah.
Are you? I thought you were a long/middle distance.
You are talking
person.
to a West District 400-meter like bronze medalist, Doctor.
Fair, but put it this way: there's a reason why most sprinters are pretty thickly built black people.
Yep, fast firing muscle tendons, like just explosive starts.
Whereas Bolt is not that built, and he's massive. He's 6'4". He is huge for a sprinter. And there's a fascinating thing. If you take basically all world-class sprinters of the last 20 years and do their genealogies, almost all of them come from a really small region in East Africa.
The Queen told us
cool. Sort of.
Cool. Yeah, I mean, yeah. Part of that is the horrifying selection pressure that is being shipped to the Americas as a slave. Oh, here we go. Speaking of slave, we can brand people and force them to work for us. That was not a segue I wanted to make, but here we are.
Oh my god. Like, that's uncanny that this is how this ended up. Like, please go on.
I don't like this, but I mean, I do like that this is drawing attention to how fucking grim
slavery is. It's awful. It's the worst thing in the world. Arguably worse than death.
But yeah, it turns out, yeah, if you bring people over and only a quarter of them, survive the journey over, that's already a massive selection pressure, and it's just, yeah, there's relatively small areas from which almost all of the world's like major sprinters are drawn, and it's like a lot of them are from, America, Jamaica, like Caribbean places, but they all draw their roots back to a very similar area of West Africa, of East Africa, that does seem to have. Oh shit! Whoops.
Oh, his will.
Okay.
His will was.
So
yours.
I did brand him, and then I yeeted him off a tower, unfortunately, because I wasn't paying close enough attention. But there we go.
Well.
Oh god! So since the last recording session, this is only the second recording session, but since the last one, I've updated my my equipment to include, at least amongst other things, a stereo thing. And now, like, stereo mixer, so I'm actually getting the game audio in stereo rather than mono. And now it's weird to hear these Uruks literally yelling in my right ear.
That is pretty cool, actually.
Do not like.
While you're still thinking around, Doctor, do you want to hear about, like, one of the things I've got left in my notes to cover is, like, various rejected story ideas that Tolkien came up with and then decided, nah, for The Lord of the Rings.
Go on.
Some of these are absolutely
Like,
wild.
I assume we're not including, for some reason, Trotter in that, who absolutely should be included in that. Don't get me wrong.
Oh,
but
we've already spoken about Trotter, I think. So, like, these are other things I want to talk about.
just to briefly cut back to the gameplay, so anyone knows what's going on. So, branding has now entirely replaced draining.
Oh.
Instead of draining, we now brand. We get the same benefits as if we had drained, but we also brand, which turns them to us.
Which is a lot better, really.
Well, yeah, it's we get the same benefits of like we get a bit of health and a bit of elf shot back, but we also, you know, your soul is mine. We have a little. Well, I mean, we're already Shang Tsuning them anyway, but
I'm not. Shang Tsung is a really good reference. I like that. I strongly respect it. Mortal Kombat's a great game.
that's because you're a fucking nerd. Is what.
I love Mortal Kombat. I've played a bunch of the Mortal Kombat games.
Again, because nerd.
I'm not great at them because like the surprisingly skilled games, but yeah.
I keep thinking that whenever he does like the full on like draining where he like blows their head up is very much your soul is mine.
Maybe we should play some Mortal Kombat in the channel. Viewership, if you're here and you're listening to this and you want us to play some Mortal Kombat, which the Doctor is reluctant to do, but I would.
So I'm not half bad
do.
at Mortal Kombat, but I have to be completely sober. It's the same with like Smash Brothers. Like once I start drinking, useless instantly.
Well, then
and then I just end up playing. Is it
that
Johnny Cage who just punches everyone in the dick constantly?
I reject that notion because like you had the option to play Mortal Kombat with me very recently and you didn't, and I'm annoyed at it. I'm still.
I don't remember that, but I assume I rejected it because I was drinking for exactly the reasons I've just laid out.
Fair, but you still suck. Anyway, do you want to hear some wild story ideas that Tolkien rejected?
Go nuts.
So, in about 1941, he does like a draft of things that he might kind of possibly want to happen in Lord of the Rings. Like in very broad terms, he lays out, and like a single sheet of A4 paper. This is kind of what I want to happen with the story.
Do you do that when you're writing?
I do, yeah.
So I know some people do. I do when I'm writing like a D&D campaign or something like that, but I don't know if everyone does that necessarily. Do you do it?
I do it, but like it's not to say that that's the correct way to do it. It's certainly,
no, it's just, yeah.
Certainly Tolkien does this so seldomly to suggest that like...
Yeah, that's the unusual thing, is like we've talked about this, about how Tolkien's writing style very much goes against exactly what you are taught in any like start writing D&D thing.
Against all logic or reason, basically. But
yeah, he's just like, okay, just start writing and basically
hope for the
shit
best.
out your story fully formed. It's like, okay, great if you can do it, but...
Well, like, he couldn't do it. He spent years drafting and redrafting. There are 6 different drafts of the Council of Elrond. There are 12 different drafts of...
And we got the final version, which is also not great.
Yeah, you can see why this is not a good way to start writing a fantasy novel, but... Like, on the rare occasions he does try and put his ideas on...
Oh, shit!
What are you doing?
So I thought I could get onto that zip wire. I could not. So let's try that again.
Okay. Well, on the rare occasions that Tolkien does actually decide that he's going to do some planning before he starts just writing whatever nonsense pops into his head, he has some incredible ideas, like really strange ones. So, amongst other things, he envisioned a Gondorian civil war. So,
okay,
in this conception of the story, like Frodo and Sam go into Mordor, Legolas and Gimli get lost and link up with Treebeard somewhere along the line, but Boromir and Aragorn make it to Minas Tirith. So, in this conception, like Denethor, like although he's not named at this point, like Tolkien imagines the Lord of Minas Tirith dies, and then they elect Aragorn as their chief. And Boromir takes umbrage with this and starts a civil war against him, which he loses. And then Boromir flees to Saruman, and then offers to lead Saruman's armies in the field against Aragorn. So,
I mean, given the relationship between Boromir and Aragorn, which is kind of like somewhere between antagonistic and respectful, that scans.
Yeah, it kind of does, and you can also see like prototype versions of like Grima Wormtongue here, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's not 1,000 miles from what happens with Rohan. Yeah. You can do weirder stuff.
I kind of would have wanted to see like Boromir versus Aragorn on the open plain. That would be awesome. Obviously, the version of Boromir in this draft is not Boromir, son of Denethor, that we meet in the Fellowship of the Ring. This is a very different character that Tolkien is imagining at this point, but it's still cool. Other things that he imagines, because like we've spoken at some length already how Tolkien doesn't actually like to kill his characters.
No, he doesn't.
He imagines a final version of the story.
He kills a grand total of 1.
Yeah, which is Boromir, the guy we just spoke about. But,
yeah. Oh, and Theoden, I suppose, as well, yeah.
He envisions like a final version of the Crackadum where like he can't bear to kill Frodo. So what happens is Gollum takes the ring from him, and then Frodo, unable to take it back, can't get it. But Samwise tackles Gollum over the side of the Crackadum, and they both tumble into the fire.
He's the hero we deserve, yeah.
Yeah, and I don't want Samwise to die. No one who has read Lord of the Rings wants Samwise to die. But I'm kind of also thinking, yeah, that's got real dramatic weight.
Yeah.
Which is kind of cool. Like, just another idea that he had.
I mean, that's taking... I can't carry it for you, but I can carry you to its absolute fucking logical conclusion.
I'm actually like, I almost cry. Like, I actually rewatched Return of the King recently with some friends. We were just like all having a fun Sunday night in together. Like we all had COVID, so we all came round to watch Lord of the Rings. It was quite sweet actually. But we also watched.
See, all I knew about this is you texted me about 4 in the morning saying, it's the end of the film, I can't carry it for you, I'm crying already. Was all I knew about this happening.
Yeah, recovering from COVID and cresting that COVID wave just as Samwise was like, I can't carry it, Mr. Frodo, was like that was a life experience that I'm never going to repeat. But this was like a way that Tolkien managed to write himself out of the problem of Frodo not being able to win the ring back.
Sorry to overwrite you here, but I can now I've branded everyone, I can suddenly activate them.
Oh.
Let's fucking do it. Go, lads.
And they just start shooting people.
I guess so.
Wow! With their...
My sleeper agents.
Absolute anarchy.
Wonderful. You love to see it.
That's so strange, but... Oh, look at all those guys swarming the dude on the...
Yeah.
Oh, they're going to rip him to
I mean,
shreds.
the goal is to eliminate all enemies, so I'm basically just going to, I guess, help out my dudes.
Now, every time you fire one of these, right, there's a 20% chance we get an explosion.
Oh yeah, with a headshot we do, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, let's just be prepared for that.
So, aim for the head.
Oh yeah.
Anyway, the final one that I've got to talk about, like, Tolkien imagines the Nazgul returning after the Ford at Rivendell as, like, vulture beasts. So not riding vultures, he imagines the Nazgul being reincarnated as, like, weird vultures or weird, like, hawks or something like that.
That's all in, but there we go.
I mean, obviously, like, you can see, like, they get fell beasts eventually, they come back with greater steeds and, like, are more powerful, blah, blah, blah. But, like, yeah, you can see how some of these really early ideas are wild, but they make it into the final draft of Lord of the Rings.
In one form or other, yeah.
Yeah, which I think is really interesting.
Oh yeah, I forget I brand people now. I was just trying to suck some elf shot out of him, but there we go.
Oh, cutscene, so we should shut up because the sprite hates it when we talk over cutscenes.
That's what we say. We've got to save these dudes.
The Queen warned us to wait until the end of the battle.
It's definitely Shelob, 100%.
It's not Shelob.
The Queen is Shelob.
No.
100%. I mean, I haven't done it. I promise you, I haven't done any reading.
I believe you, but it's just also not. No.
It's definitely Shelob.
I mean, Marwen does sound like an evil name, but it's not Shelob.
Guarantee. How much you want to bet? Oh, I see.
Bonus shot.
No. Oh, fine. Shot. You're on. Let's do it. This is a weeknight, by the way.
Yeah, that went so well last time. Bonus shots, I think, were what started the beginning of the end last time. Did she just fire 2 shots in one and skewer 2 Uruks in the face? Because that's cool as fuck.
I think it's still Celebrimbor, but he did that, yeah.
Oh, yeah, shit.
Because
yeah. I thought this was Marwen, but apparently
not. It's a Tolkien property, Doctor. Heaven forbid that a woman does anything.
Yeah, no. I mean, they can be there, but they can't have agency. That's not alright.
Unless you're Eowyn, in which case you get friend-zoned and then, like, stabbed almost to death by a being of, like, immortal shadow and destruction.
And don't get exactly a lot of the credit for it, frankly.
No, Mary gets an undue
amount of credit. There he is. The big lad.
That's rad.
I like that these flashbacks are kind of Wraith-worldy.
Well, because like elves exist simultaneously in the Wraith world and the real world, so like it makes sense that this is how Celebrimbor remembers it. That's the coolest thing we've seen so far in this game.
Dude, right, you've talked shit about it, but genuinely, we might be on for doing the DLC for this at some point, the Bright Lord. Because you're so hyped for the Celebrimbor stuff, so...
Yeah, like, this stuff is actually cool. Where it intersects with genuine Tolkienian lore and respects his source material, it's been epic. When it's diverged...
Oh, the DLC does not do that.
Oh, okay, well... Oh, there's the ring. To Mordor we shall take you. Okay, that was pretty cool. It sucks we had to go through a generic side quest to get to the cool cutscene, but yeah.
We didn't. That was everything with that dwarf seems to have still been entirely optional. So.
Oh.
Yeah, that was just another quest we had the opportunity for.
So all you got to do here is really. Oh, you can
kill.
You can combat brands. You can make allies.
Yep, it's exactly the same as draining. That we can do it in combat or whatever. Let's have this guy, for example. Oh no! Yep, you're mine. Your soul is mine. Let's fight with me.
Nice.
So I guess he's on our side now, or do I have to activate him? I can't remember. Oh shit!
Try activating him. That was one of the default.
There we go. Yep, there we go. Yeah, we can just activate them whenever. That's cool.
That is quite cool, actually. At least we'll get some of the help.
This guy, and you get up and fight for me. Thank you.
This is kind of cool, actually.
Yeah, see, I always read that this was this game's like thing, which is why it's weird to me that you get this like 2/3 of the way through the game.
It feels like, well, why couldn't we just have started by branding Ratbag, right?
Yeah, like so much of the Nemesis system seems to work by having, you know, your people also working up through the system. Like, taking out an orc that's in a power struggle with another orc makes sense when one of the orcs he's in a power struggle with, you've got, like, a vested interest in.
Kill these Uruk. It is another to make them our followers.
It is a gift. We can use the weapon of the enemy against him.
Oh, you sound like fucking Boromir.
Well, but we were just talking about Boromir, son of the steward.
It is a gift to the foes of Mordor.
Let us not use this ring. Let us not use the atom bomb. Again, see our previous episodes.
And your attempt at a northern accent is wonderful.
Thank you.
But I don't want to pitch it head to head with my attempt at a Scottish accent, frankly, so we'll leave it there.
Yeah. You know, I got one final thing in my notes, Doctor. Do you want to tackle that while you're running back towards the quest?
I mean, we're not that far from it, so we'll hold on to that for now, I think.
Okay. So Talion has definitely gotten more powerful, and we're definitely getting more savvy at the game, I think.
I say, I'm not sure how much of this is just I've got good.
I think you've done well to research better strategy, and clearly this recording session is going better than the last one. Although,
there's definitely a thing as well of like, I didn't talk about this much, but comboing is like a thing of previously in combat I was basically hammering X, but it turns out the best thing to do is basically if you press X specifically once per attack, so you go kind of wah, X, X, X.
Yeah.
You just do a lot more damage, and it does a slightly cool slow-mo, which is also no bad thing.
Yeah, I mean, I'm shitting on some of the side quests, but fundamentally viewership, I think we would still recommend.
Well, what got me the dwarf thing wasn't a side quest. That was a main quest. I'm sure before long there'll be revealed some reason why we had to do that, but yeah, a lot of the big thing is just remembering to do everything that we do. Like literally here, I'm remembering there to assassinate someone, fire off some shots, do a shadow strike. Like, I think just when we were getting used to the game and I was quite drunk, I was just like, there's a lot going on.
Yeah.
That you have basically got, it's got your Assassin's Creed thing of basically, oh, here we go. Queen Marwen holds the key to unlocking the true power of the Ringmaker. The power and command of Dominion. Forge an army to challenge the Black Captain. Yes, let's do that. But yeah, you've kind of got your combat, you've got your ranged, and you've got your stealth, and they're all different things that each one kind of covers the problems of the other.
Right.
Whereas before we were just trying to do combat, I wasn't really doing either of the
this
other.
is absolutely Shelob.
It's not Shelob.
It's definitely Shelob.
I'm willing to bet a shot on it.
Returned. You are not done yet.
And she's speaking with Celebrimbor's voice, or possibly Sauron's.
Find this.
He has shown me.
You haven't told me what you want in return.
I'm willing to stand in the one-shot bet.
You are truly capable.
I'll wait. Viewership, I mean, obviously you'll find
There's Cointreau. Obviously, I live in the Sprites house, so there's always Cointreau, so...
that's fine. Viewership, you tell us in the comments, right? So I back this creepy old-ass lady. That's absolutely Shelob in my mind, in human form. You tell us in the comments. Maybe you know, maybe you don't. Because, I mean, we'll know the answer by the time you post the comment.
Like, cards on the table. I don't know. You don't know either, right?
No, genuinely, honestly, sincerely, I would never lie to you, Doctor. I haven't looked up.
No, I believe you. And also, I think, I don't know this, but I think it'd be fucking dumb if it turned out to be Shelob. And I'm kind of banking on it would be fucking dumb, so therefore it's not true. Which, as you said, with this game is not actually a solid logical argument, but there we go.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
Dominate and make our
I think we would still recommend it though. I think the game
yeah.
is fundamentally solid. It's one of the better
I think yeah,
games
it was
we've played
good in the start, and then it got a bit rough in the middle when I didn't know what I was doing. But now I've kind of got my head around it a bit more. I'm definitely still enjoying it. I mean, there's obviously, as you say, the problems of it diverging from Tolkien stuff, and like, hey, here we are in the fucking green hills, weirdly spirally. Like this feels like this whole landscape is a bit N64.
Yeah, it's
in terms of the topology doesn't feel very natural.
It's quite. I don't know. This feels very generic fantasy game rather than. I don't feel
No,
like
this isn't like it's not
not
exactly
Middle-earth.
Mordor, is it? Like,
No,
Granted, yeah,
no.
okay. I know that they want to make it feel different to, you know, Gorgoroth. And Gorgoroth, I mean, they haven't even really, unless there's a third area that we're still going to get to, they haven't exactly gone full Mordor yet.
But like, there's other places we could have gone within Sauron's dominion that aren't just generic Fantasyland. Why don't we go to Umbar? Why don't we go to wherever? Is it Canned, where the Easterlings are from?
Yeah.
Why don't we go there instead of like this generic fantasy bullshit? I just feel like this is reductive, given the richness.
Grublick. I love that you zoom in and your man says the name in a spooky fashion.
Yeah, I just feel like there was more that could have been done within Tolkien's own text.
Sorry. After dominating a captain, you can now press Y to issue a command. This lets you send your branded captain to murder another captain or try to become a war chief's bodyguard.
Nice.
See, this is what I thought was like the main mechanic of this game.
Oh, so we can set up two captains to be a war chief's bodyguard and then sick them on him when we fight the war chief.
Exactly, or something like that. Yeah, it's like, but like I literally remember when I remember first reading about this game, I was like, this was this game's thing, and it's wild that we're only getting to that like 12 hours in. Frankly,
Hey, you played this game for 12 hours?
There we go. Yes. Oh my god, fuck. Oh, this has gone badly.
Well, do like your own advice and just bug out if you need to. Oh,
No,
here we go.
no, we're fine. I thought I could grab him and brand him straight away, but I couldn't. So we're gonna have to fight him a little bit and then combat brand him. But that's fine. I just need to build up my combo a little bit. Oop.
Hey, he's like
There you go.
elf
There
lover.
we go.
Who doesn't
Your
love
soul
elves?
is mine. Oh no, he fought it off. Apparently that's
okay.
a thing that people
Well,
can do.
that was a thing already, though, wasn't it? Like you couldn't automatically
yes.
drain everybody.
Yeah.
I think this is a cool addition, but like you say, it
Yeah.
feels like it's coming quite late in the game, unless there's more to this game than we thought.
As I say, when we finished the last chunk of the game, we were. Oh, here we go. There we go. Oh no, he's still not going for it.
The other guy?
No, now we need to weaken him more.
Do the the beatdown thing, like stun him and then whack him.
Yep. Oh my god. Putting up a fair fight.
It's almost like he doesn't want to die.
No, he's not going to die. He's just going to be forced into eternal servitude.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
I like it. Is he like scarred because we burned him? Like is he scorched?
Yeah. And if he survived this, he'd be like a fear of burns. It's this game's whole thing.
That is still cool.
Yeah, I'll give you that.
That hasn't gotten less cool.
Right, no. I was just checking if there's some way of doing dominating that I wasn't aware of, but no.
Brand him.
Oh my god, man. He just keeps not being branded.
Are we missing something, or have we just
Nope,
got to
there
keep
we go.
hitting him until? Hey!
Nope.
Nope.
He's still
All
just-
right. Okay. And perhaps
I think he just has to be more weakened. Let's do this on him then. That'll do it. There we go. Now we can brand him. If I grab, basically once he's green means he's no longer resist grabs, and then we can go. Hooah!
Ooh, dark.
Yeah.
That is like we spoke about it in the first recording session or in the initial run of episodes viewership. But there's a cool narrative through that here that Talion has to compromise himself more and more and more to get the revenge that he
it's very
wants.
clear that he's not comfortable with this, and Celebrimbor is, where he's literally like, "Are we okay to use this power?" And Celebrimbor's like, "We literally have to use any power at our disposal to defeat the Dark Lord." And it's like, that's cool that they set up that kind of. This is a bit icky, but sure.